Okay, everyone. So I have been compelled to do this response. Um, for those there are for some reason people follow this channel, YouTube channel, who just have seen my past content and like that stuff, and they have no association with forums, maybe in general, maybe at least American forums. No association with Super Best Audio Friends, the successor to chankstar.com or org or whatever it was. I think most people who watch this are familiar, at least familiar with the site and what it does and what it's about and all that. So I have been banned indefinitely. Those are the words. So indefinitely means until until the notice comes. But until the notice does come, you are banned. So I'm presuming that I am banned permanently. From the contact I've had with certain individuals, that seems to be the case. My main issue, the thing here is I have a lot, and there's a lot of people on SBAF who I've developed what I would call friendships. And the problem with banning someone, first of all, I can't even log back in from my IP. I have to use VPN. Silly, but that's what they do. The problem is I am essentially being slandered by certain individuals who are just willfully misinterpreting what I'm about, what I say, the actual words that I type on the keyboard. They get to the internet through a series of tubes, and from what I understand, they show up as I type them. But other people read them, and in this conversion process, from reading to their screens into their brains, they see different things. They see ghosts. They see all sorts of spooks in my writing, and associate me with things that I do not even want to be associated with. It is just, and it is willful. It is not by dint of language interpretation or different perspectives. It is willful. It is just total lies. It's really what it is. And so I need to respond to these things because I see the average person waking up. Because again, this ban was a surprise to me. I want to walk through my perspective a bit more, but I see the average person waking up on SBAF. They see, oh, Jay's banned, and if they'd see all this, blah 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 blah, and they have no context because my whole I think I said this, my whole profile's deleted. For all they know, based on what has been said about me, I started sig heiling and invading Poland. This is the impression that I get from reading what others write about me on the private section of this forum that I used to call home. I have been told, and there's no way for some check. I read this shit and I'm like, I must have had some epic breakdown. I didn't post anything on the night I was banned. There was nothing there. But I got banned for some delayed infraction of a post that I still don't understand what exactly I was banned for. I guess it was just an accumulation of slights against whatever. So let me take this back. I can't take this back. To take this back to the beginning, we take it back to the origins of SBAF, which is just a long time, and I want to take it back to what I see as the beginning of this whole issue is that Ogurami, whose name I will not say, or whose handle I will not say. His name's Jason. His handle, saying it, feel like I lose brain cells saying Ogurami. No idea what that means. Jason made a post on SBAF right after the meet, the LA meet, or SBAF's first big meet, basically criticizing the HD650 and all the people who like it, and blah, blah, blah. It's something like my problem with HD650 fags. I think he used the word fag in the title, which is, I'll talk a bit more about that and how that's just a cardinal sin. It's just like fag is a new N-word. It's just, oh, Jesus. So he made a post about that. It was pretty rambly. I don't think Jason was very serious at all. I think he was at least 50% joking. I think he does believe that people who listen to the HE650s and all that and don't listen to his glorified Chi-Fi HE6 are just like peasants, but It was he was making there was a tongue in cheek there. It was fine. I made essentially a satire post of him, making fun of him. So he made that post, and there was I don't know, maybe 2, 3, 4 pages criticizing him, whatever. I made a satire post criticizing him, essentially, not criticizing directly, but making fun of him, but I made the cardinal mistake. I used the word fag, and I also used the word cuck, and you can't use these. See, this was a satire. This was a joke. This whole post was a joke. People were still these people. I'm not sure. I don't know Marvin Gilberto or all the other madmens talk about complaints they get. I don't get complaints because people know I don't respond to that bullshit. I mean, it's just. So you can. I believe both our posts are still on the site. Their threads are locked, but you can go look at them and you can see that I literally copy pasted him, and changed words and edited it to make fun of him, and his chi-fi and his Ichi6 fanboyism, and it was all in good jest. But people don't understand satire. They just see these transgressive words, and it's just like, oh Jesus Christ. So from there, that seemed to be a starting point where people were really triggered, or like just supremely triggered about these words and how offensive they were. I think right after that, there was a bit of a tuffle in the Star Wars thread. Of course, so SBAF is not, during the creation of SBAF, we said no politics, right? And I agreed with that. I thought Chankstar had too much politics. I felt it should be more audio-oriented. I never bring up politics. I never bring up I don't talk about the election. I don't talk about specific policies on SBAF. I never bring it up. I mean, if someone's going to bring it up, I'm going to respond, but I never actually bring up the issue. It's always others who do, and I respond. So Marv essentially starts the Star Wars thread. It's not supposed to be political, right? But you can't see that's the thing. We can't even talk about culture. We can't even talk about we can't even talk about movies without it being, everything's political to these people. These people see the fact that you would criticize, poorly placed female roles in movies as a political statement, right? So, and I don't even want to get into the argument of what is politics. You can say that is politics. I mean, I consider politics like you're talking about policy, like about actual policy positions, candidates, etc. Like we're talking about that. We're talking about, this what I would call social or cultural issue of how Hollywood, and you can. I think that thread's still there. I think it's locked, but you can go check it out. I mean, I mean, if people bring up politics, I'm going to respond, but I don't take a political approach. I take a different approach. I felt I did. So that was another stepping stone where people seem to be really angry. And then we're going to get to some. I think I don't have a timeline here. Also, I can't go back, and it's hard to go back and see what you posted when the moderators delete everything. I mean, it's just whatever. So the next major event was Mozart, who is an Australian chap who has frequented the forums, I think, SBAF since the beginning. And he at least claims to have all sorts of problems, all sorts of mental problems, and he claims to want to kill himself and all this. And this was a repeated issue we were having with him. He would basically go nuts on the forum. I don't believe a fucking word. I don't believe a single word of any of his cries for help. They're all disingenuous. They're all full of shit. I don't believe he is as weak and feeble and mentally disabled as he claims. There's no good reason to believe it based on his behavior. I've Skyped with him. I chatted with him. He sounds like a normal dude. I mean, like he is just so. It's like. It's just, I can't believe a word of it. I can't find it in me to believe that he is actually what he claims to be. I thought he was just a high level troll, but then you see actually he is mentally ill, just a different sort of mentally. He's mentally ill of his own volition, right? So one thread, I think I don't know what he brought up, something about wanting to kill himself or hating life or something like this. And I just told him, I mean, this was not the first time he had these outbursts. I told him essentially to fuck off, right? I told this guy to fuck off in lengthier words. I told him to fuck off, and I locked the thread. I'm like, you're gonna get banned. I mean, we're not going to have it. You can't let these people get power. I mean, this is how they get power. They want to control you emotionally. They're looking for subservience to their emotions, right? You can't feed this dragon. You need to cut it off. We should have, Marv or whoever was making the decisions about who gets banned or whatever, they should have saw this earlier and cut it off. They shouldn't have let this progress. I think it was just, I think we all, I mean, I was on the moderator team at that time, so I should have saw it earlier and just brought it up and say, hey, ban this guy. I'm sick of him. I can't ban people. Only admin. There's admin, for people who don't know, there's admins on SBAF and there's mods. Mods can only do so much. Admins can do a lot more. So after that altercation with Mozart, I was banned for 2 weeks, temporarily banned for being a dick. That was I think the literal language used. You were being OJ violated the rule of being a dick. So okay, I take it for what it is. So at this point, I'm already seeing the writing on the wall. I am seeing the. For those who don't know, I'm seeing Marv and others use the same language and approach with me, dealing with me that they used with Anaxolus back in Shankstar. Oh, OJ's just, he's a tough love guy. I think Marv used to say the same thing about Anax. I mean, while it might be true, it's just, yeah. I mean, I don't need those words. I need you to back me up and say, hey, this is not acceptable behavior. Get off. We don't need to ban a moderator for telling people to fuck off who need to be told to fuck off. I don't tell random people who come on the forum to fuck off or people who just disagree. I don't ban people in general. I only ban like people who are spammers and, you know, maybe who really have cashed out all their goodwill with the membership. And those are the people who I think should be banned. I don't ban people for alternate opinions. I never do. I'm laissez-faire or whatever moderator in that regard. Anyways, I was banned for 2 weeks, came back. So at this point, again, I see the writing on the wall, and yes, those who, by the way, OJ was pushing buttons after he got back. Yes, I was pushing buttons. But it was like a little push. It was just like, I didn't bring up any politics. I don't bring any of that stuff. I literally post things like for right after I came back. I said, again, this is something that's misrepresented, and I'll get into this eventually. I post things like, it's literally like Facebook quote, like tier bullshit, like lame Facebook memes that I pull out of my ass, and I post that in my profile because I just want to see it. I want to get a response. I mean, it's not anything political. It's not. I'm not denigrating people. I said, I remember the literal words. I can't reference it, but it was, we should salute strength. I can't even say it in straight face. We should salute strength, not out of disdain for the weak, but out of love for what they could become, right? So this is related to Mozart. Like, I don't hate Mozart because he's weak. I mean, you don't hate people for being weak. You love strength. Strength is this ideal, right? You love the strength. By loving the strength, you aren't hating the weak. It's like you project love on the strength. And you hope everyone goes to the strength. You hope you this is like the concepts of honor and, like, you know, being a good person and shit, like morals, like, right? I mean, it's just it goes back to that Christian thing, right? Christians, I'm not Christian, by the way, not religious at all. You know, hate the sin, love the sinner, whatever. Like, I want, like Mozart or anyone other of these weaklings, these just really pathetic people on SBAF who just get mad over everything. Yeah, I don't hate you. I want you to be, like, strong. I want you to be good. I want you to just, you know, have some self-worth and not complain about bullshit on the internet, like I'm doing now. This isn't bullshit. It is serious. I mean, see, I could say something disingenuous like, oh, I don't care that I got banned from SBAF. No, I care. I mean, I care about things. I like to visit forums that are good. I like to participate. I like to be with individuals who are like-minded and non-like-minded, but we can, you know, reconcile with each other and all this. So I do care about this situation, and it is important to me. So I think I'm reasonable in this regard. So yeah, I put something like out, and then people are just they read too much into it. Like you can't even say, you can't even take a moral stance on anything these days without people thinking, oh, you're denigrating the weak. Like, I didn't say anything about, I said the exact opposite about denigrating the weak. I say about, well, we want to lift up the weak. The only way you lift up the weak is you give them something to strive for. You don't reward bad behavior. It's like all incentive stuff. Anyway, and then, I don't remember what other profile posts I made. I made something. I think the last profile post I made. Yes, I'm pushing your buttons, but I'm not saying Heil Trump. I'm not 1488ing here. I'm literally, my last profile post was something like, it was a Patton quote, or a bridge version of Patton's quote: "Lead, follow, or get out of the way." This is an apolitical statement. I mean, you can say it's a life statement. There's no politics here. There's nothing here. There's nothing to get mad of. Lead, follow, get out of the way. Just like a life thing. It's like, if you can't be the strong one to lead, you follow so you can maybe catch up to the strong one. It's like, or you get out of the way if you're just going to be totally pathetic and just be a total nihilist and just get out of the way. That's why I tell people Mozart or whatever. Tell these mentally ill people, get out of the way. You can follow, you can catch up to the strong guy one day, but until then, get out of the way. It's not denigrating. It's not. It's inspiring. And this is my inspiring Facebook quote memes that have nothing to do with denigrating people. I'll get into later how I've been misrepresented about these statements, but of course I think Syzex or this. So Syzex is just this cancerous individual, just total cancer. Anax back in the Chang, he sent him back to the shadow realm. I thought we were done with this guy. For some reason, he's come back. I think maybe he wants to buy a power amplifier, whatever. He comes back from the shadow realm to haunt me and say, oh, and he starts bringing up healthcare. He's like, Obamacare. Oh, my Obamacare. Like, I didn't bring up, what does Obamacare have to do anything with my patent quote? What is this? And then of course I respond slightly in turn, and then now he gets even more political. Blah blah blah. Don't vote. You voted for Trump, or like I didn't vote for Trump first of all, and I'll get into all this later. Anyway, so then I think maybe 3 days after I made this profile post, again I still haven't got a good reason for why I was banned. I think my banned statement was, my banned reason was like, cross the line. You crossed the line. You crossed the line, buddy. It's just totally vague, nebulous, meaningless, meaning just a non-statement. It's a non-statement. Anyway, so I figure out I get banned. I'm like, oh, what did I get banned for? And I go on to this, and then I'm going to get into this thread. So, of course, there's a private section on SBAF, like in most forums. I'm gonna read first. I'm being slandered in this thread. I have no problem revealing private information, or private thread that over 1,000 people can probably see. I mean, I'm gonna read from it and tell you what the real reason for my banning was. So let's see how this plays out. This is for Marv, first post rather. OJ has been banned for an indefinite amount of time. Many of the admins know OJ in person, and I consider him a friend of mine. So this decision was not taken lightly. In this instance, one of the admins took it upon himself to immediately issue the ban. Unilateral action. Interesting. Usually we have more deliberation. I haven't been keeping up with moderation reports, so I guess I'm getting a lot of moderation reports for meaningless Facebook tier posts because I've been having fun with blah, blah, blah. LA, okay, but make no mistake, I support this ban. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. OJ is being banned for not getting along. What? Jesus Christ. Past some point, OJ's antics are not even funny anymore. They are tiresome, annoying, and insufferable. I don't know what's up with the stronger than thou. So this is the first part. I never said stronger than thou. I never claimed to be stronger than anyone. I'm always aspiring for strength. I mean, this is just a total lie. This is just bullshit. Or lead, follow, get out of the way. Yeah. I mean, that statement, it's not a sermon. It's just literally a patent quote. I mean, I throw it out there. Just a poke. I want to poke and see how bad your form has become, Marv. This is how bad your form has become. If this quote, lead, follow, get out of the way, incites reactions from all these mentally ill people, then you have a bigger problem than me. I am not the problem. I'm pointing out the problem here. I don't know what any of this stuff has to do with audio. Yes, because profile posts all have to do with audio, right? People post random shit about, random other shit, some Marxist shit on their profile posts, and that's okay. That's okay. But don't say lead, follow, get out of the way. You can't say that. That's a sermon, yeah, right? Oh, so this is the next part. I don't feel OJ did anything technically wrong. But he was seriously testing the limits, doing the low-level trolling, pushing buttons. Again, like I said, I admit to this. Again, but I'm not breaking any rules. I'm just literally pointing out these cancers you have. You have cancer in your form. One thing I pride myself about is that we moderate based on intent and meaning, not just the words. So here we go. So the words are not what's important, as you say. It's the intent and meaning. So the intent is to disrupt these cancers that you have, then that's not good. Once I learned that not to cut friends too much slack lest they take down the entire ship. I mean, is that what you think? You think I'm going to be the one to take down the entire ship? No, these other people are. I'm the one defending you, Marv. I'm the one defending you from these barbarians. There's the barbarians at the gate. And it used to be, you need people to defend you, or else your form's just going to become a bunch of nincompoops. Finally, a moderator did remind me that OJ received a pretty stiff warning 3 weeks ago. So yeah, that was, I can imagine who that was. Anyway, I mean, let's go on. More in this thread. Nerdling, of course. Good to see this place become an audio community rather than a poor man's 4chan. What does that mean? Again, I mean, I'm not a big fan of 4chan. They produce some high quality memes, but I'm not a fan of 4chan. K4 Star says, this is actually interesting. No need to make a big about this. He essentially told me he wanted to go out in a blaze of glory. I tried to advise him to log out and come back in a few months. I guess he didn't listen. Yeah, K4, that was a joke. I didn't actually want. If this was me going on a blaze of glory, I'd be highly disappointed with myself. This was not a blaze of glory. This is literally me poking and then someone having a disproportionate reaction to my totally inane post. I'm sure well enough he changed his attitude. Yeah, you're the one who needs to change your attitude, Buster. Oh yeah. Oh, here we go. Oh, and then this is A44100. I'm not sure why this guy's a friend level. I don't know much about him, I guess. But I guess we have so many people who are friend level that are just randoms, I guess, essentially. Since you asked what's up with the stronger than thou stuff, never said that. It's an online click formation for men. That 4chan-led alt-right hyper-masculine rhetoric is very tiresome. So if you quote General Patton, you are an alt-right Nazi. This is if you believe in like having strength and like being honorable or whatever this stuff is, you're alt-right, you're a Nazi, you are just a deplorable white supremacist. You're just I mean, look at me, I'm Hitler's youth here, right? This is what is this? This is an alt-right lie, and this is where the lies begin. I'm just overtly accused of being part of the alt-right, being a white supremacist about all this stuff. You're right to moderate using judgment of intent and consistent behaviors rather than algorithms. Yeah. Okay. Gonna post something. More inane. I'm not sure. Was this Wilson? Yeah, it looks like Wilson. Interesting, I pegged it as poorly articulated Ayn Rand Nietzsche babble. That aside, I was just starting to appreciate and respect his audio knowledge. I do hope he matures and makes it back. Yeah, I'm the one who needs to mature, Wilson. Yeah, that's me. You're you literally post nothing, Wilson. You go into threads and you're just like, huh, good job. Like, what the hell do you contribute? Like, what gives you? I don't even know how you became a friend level stuff. It's just, second of all, I'm not a fan of Ayn Rand. I mean, I guess believe in small government, and that makes me just a fucking radical Ayn Rand. You know, Nietzsche. I've read like a little bit of Nietzsche or whatever. I'm not a huge guy on Nietzsche. I'm not a moral relativist. I'm more of a moral absolutist. Again, just in this day, you just say the words. You just say things and they become true. Say you're a Nazi and you're a Nazi. It's just pure slander. Not sure who said this. Looks like Kurt Svensson. It's been very clear to someone who gets exposed to this weird counterculture a lot. Yeah. I'm the one who's in the world of counterculture. So conservatives are now, or anyone who has any conservative ideals is now a counterculture, and the left is now the established, knowledgeable knowledge givers that just. You're the one with the weird counterculture. You're the one who believes that words are like. You're the one who believes words are like offensive or rather, words are like violence. Like this is what people believe. This is what you believe. This is not normal. You've turned the tables, but I see through this whole bullshit. I am not the counterculture. I am the original culture. I am the normal culture. You're the counterculture. You're the weirdo. You've just taken over. I'm not sure who said this. Looks like Kanaran said it. I think it's bad form to talk about him when he can't respond. And most likely can't even read this thread. Yeah, I will miss him sorely. No, so you see, that's the point for me not to be able to respond. The point is to change the discussion. The point is to just silence people, and then you say whatever you want in your fucking thread, and it just becomes true. It is total mind control. It's just cut out the alternate voice, and now whatever you say becomes true. This is the point. The point is that I can't respond, but I'm responding. I'm not letting Marv and the rest of these people win this meme war. I'm countering your memes with memes of my own. And I am not going to bend over for that bullshit. Okay, here's an lengthy one from Ultrabike. I'd like to add that I was the admin that proceeded with the ban. Interesting. I mentioned to the other admins that I like Ojan, know him in person, passion, knowledgeable, meaningless statement. I mean, it's just meaningless. Oh, I like. It's a meaningless statement. It just isn't borne out by truth. So I become increasingly confrontational in sensitive subjects. So if you make something a sensitive subject, then you just win, right? So because if anyone touches your sensitive subject, now you're being the one being confrontational with it, right? So the fact that I pushed out a patent quote or whatever, and people get angry, they go, "Oh, that's a sensitive subject. You can't talk about that. You can't talk about that." No. It's pure mind control. It's total bullshit. Direction is becoming weak. I don't feel respect towards others and tolerance as a weak trait. Is that what you actually believe, Gilberto? You believe I don't respect other people and I don't tolerate people. Is this what you believe? Is this honestly what you believe? I believe Ocean understood that his vision and the vision of SBAF was at odds and decided that he was going to stick to his guns. So you see, what I wasn't told is that SBAF is just without the politics, right? So no more posting about, the Iraq War, no more posting about policy, no more that. And that I was fine with. Again, I was fine with no politics. But you can't even bring up Star Wars. You can't even bring up a patent quote. This was the. I mean, remember Marv said specifically. He basically said SBAF is Changstar without Annex, and a nicer GUI. That's what it was. That's what it always was. But now certain individuals have wanted to change this, and this is how it's going to change. This is how it's changed, one after another. I don't know what the future will bring, but I honestly do. I'm sorry I had to proceed with a ban. Are you really sorry, or do you just say that? See, this is another thing that people say, "Oh, I'm sorry," but do they really mean they're sorry? It doesn't seem like you're empirically you could ever mean you're actually sorry. If you're not sorry, the ban, you could just maybe move back the ban. I don't know. It seems like you overreacted, and now you're admitting you're overreacting, and so it's just, "Oh, I'm sorry, but what can I do?" It's fuck off, man. It's just total bullshit. It's another thing with Ultraback. It's just full of pleasantries, full of non-statements, full of just non-confrontational bullshit. It's just, I mean, you're not saying any words, and see, this is a lot of words, but there's no meaning in there. Stick with the gun. It's just, oh man, I don't know what they're. And Marv needs someone to explain the alt-right to him, I guess. I mean, then we're talking about the shot. I don't know what this talks about, what it means. Then Dino's going to give us a cute anecdote. I had a work friend I got along with. Our sense of humor meshed, and that was a lot of fun. We had opposite political views. We agreed not to discuss politics, and that worked perfectly for years. He ended up immersing himself in increasingly more extreme political media, and it seemed to consume his thoughts. He would express his views constantly. I did not observe anyone wanting to hear this stuff, but that did not slow him down. It was like he was on a mission. I distanced myself from it as much as I could. He wasn't fun anymore. He was just angry. He could not help himself. Jesus Christ. Is this what I've become? I've immersed myself in political. You're the one who's immersed yourself in political media. You're the one who sees nothing in my non-statements. You're the one who reads into this stuff. You're the one who's immersed. I'm the normal one. If you see a patent quote, if you see people should be strong, if the statement people should be strong, and you think, oh, you're denigrating the weak. Oh, stronger over weak. Oh, you're the one who's immersed. It's not me. It's you. You became, dude. You probably the one became. And this is not even to go into you have a friend you can't even talk politics. I mean, this is just such a you don't have friends who are conservative or liberal. I mean, this doesn't exist for you. You can't get along with people. Are you the tolerant one? If you just defoo, or rather not defoo, just distance yourself from anyone with different views from you. You're the tolerant one. You're the tolerant one for that. Think about that. Bullshit. And this is something, I think this was Merrick. Many of us appreciate you sticking to your guns. Mission here is audio. Mission here has always been audio too, but I can't talk about. Marv's the one that brings up movie threads, and that's political. So anything's political. Just get rid of all the other subform. If SBAF was just audio forums, just an audio forum, there would be no other random thoughts. There'd be no cars. There'd be no. It's not just an audio forum. There's a greater culture there. It's not just an audio forum. That's. Yeah, I don't think we should bring up direct politics. I'm just not into that. But I think that just it's not the place. But again, just talking about movies or posting lame quotes is not political. There's a difference. And Bill's gonna write a big one. I honestly never ended up stuff. I'll read it all since he deserves it. Bill's a good guy. Had to see OJ go. He'll be sorely missed. I hope this was for the betterment of SBAF. I honestly never had any problem with some of the stuff said in St. Bliss, but then I guess I never learned to be. I've learned to be extremely tolerant over the years. I don't know. You're not tolerant since you tolerate me, though. And to not engage in meaningless stuffs. One strategy has always worked for me is to simply steer the conversation toward a different direction, start a new topic, blah, blah, blah. Ultimately, I hope that's not me have to start watching what I have to say or write, lest some people mistake my intent for something else entirely. No, that'll never happen to you, Bill. That'll never happen. No. Yeah, that's the issue. There is no end game with these people. There's no winning. It's conform or die. You're either part of their narrative or you just get axed, gas chamber, blah, right? It's just this is how these people react. That you have to watch what you say. Now everyone's going to be watching what they're saying. And then I'll get it to the next. The Marvson public post about this is basically telling people watch what you say. That's what it is. Watch what you say. Also, on that note, if certain things are too sensitive, politics, shouldn't we just place a ban on the subject? No, I mean, I wasn't talking about politics, so yeah, I agree. If someone's going to keep making political threads about Donald Trump, yeah, I mean, ban them. We don't want to talk about that. I'm not bringing up Donald Trump. I'm not bringing up politics. I'm not harping on that. Oh, this is cute. This is from Wilson. Or is it? No, this is from Caterf Jays, whatever the hell that means. Warmed over Cod Rand Nietzsche is what often characterizes the alt-right MRA rhetoric. So now I am alt-right and a men's right advocate, along with calling people a cuck, which I use in satire. I'm afraid. It's somewhat uncomfortable stuff, especially coming from the one we used to have time for. I'll miss his gloriously ugly circuit diagrams, but not his recent outburst. So just call me part of the alt-right, call me a Nazi, call me MRA, and this just all becomes true. Your words have magical powers, evidently, and they just make truth. They just materialize the physical world. This is what you do. This is what this is. It is magic, witchcraft. Not sure who said this crap, but yeah, I mean, I think this was Kaepernick, my Aryan brother. We are both Aryans. We are part of the Aryan race, known as Iranian. So this is another white supremacist Aryan that you guys should watch out for on your forum. Kaepernick, watch out, he's an Aryan. I'm sad to see OJ go, as his perspectives were often the most straightforward and to the point. In the last 2 years, Marv's impression has become grounded and tame, as if purposely preserving his judgment and comments. This is counterproductive, in my opinion. No comment on that for me. As SBAF grows, it more becomes a small representation of society, especially Western society. This is SBAF attempting to be more inclusive and less tolerant, or more inclusive and more tolerant, or less tolerant. I'm not sure what that means. One simply should look at the root of SBAF being Shining Star and how it's originally agreed to with heavy-handed moderation, cut the noise. And no comment. Changing a name and slapping the most contributing members in the face creates a heavy presence on FBA's threads we're seeing today. I held an expedition into the most contentious and controversial threads here recently. Within minutes, I discovered some were verbally spewing their victimized ideologies and offending stances at everyone, sometimes with the incredulous use of capital letters, and even more logical fallacies, appeals to emotion and overall proportions. This is the that's what white supremacists say, I think. This is most present in the newest members rather than the friends, but it's not exclusive to the former group, since apparently it is a birthright of all to take upon themselves to prove another wrong on the internet. I feel this seething rage inside of me, wanting to succumb and join the orgy of back and forth commentary about what or what not to make jokes about in 24th century audio and politics. Then I had an epiphany. It is such conversations and these people commenting on everything, their whines and cries and relative lack of thin skin, that led to Trump being elected in the real world. No comment. I reached a resonant frequency of my mind, as if all of 2016's questions on horrible occurrences had all been answered simultaneously in my mind. The bloodthirst to join the fray was there. Do not for a second doubt it, but also a comprehension to take me over. All I can say is to tread carefully through the internet. Heed this warning. There's a vile shadow that will possess you if you're not wary. I mean, okay. Cap's basically calling you fuckers out and saying you're a bunch of bitches. That's what he's saying. That's what this white supremacist is saying. This Aryan. And then there's more stuff. I mean, this thread was too long. I'm not gonna go through every page of it. I'm not gonna succumb to that desire. To me, he does something about defend yourself from slander. It only begets more slander. There's no end to it. So I just got to make my point clear, make people understand that I'm not a Nazi, and I didn't invade Poland. I didn't do anything wrong here. They almost admit that I didn't do anything wrong. But a few more things, I guess. Cult of OJ Martyrs from Marv. Now is your time to ask for your donations back. You get 1 week until this is over. I don't want to take money from people who not like the direction of SBAF. Fair enough, but it's too late. I mean, the ship's already going down. I mean, you think you're going to throw me off and it's going to keep you above water? No, the ship's going down, Marv. The shit doesn't work. I'm not sure it's had the ignore here works fantastically, but it does not exist for guests reading the content. Didn't want non-registered people if they're reading certain things and getting the wrong idea. I don't know much about cucks or 4chan lingo, but I'm certainly afraid of people with agendas coming in and polluting the forum. It's already happened once with the casual use of faggot. Uh-oh. Faggot. See, we're not coming in and polluting your forum, Marv. We're your forum. We are the founders in that sense. We are the ones who got on board with you and we supported you in all this. And now you're succumbing to a different cancer that I don't understand why you're doing this. But I think this thread is making me question your end goals, maybe hopefully it's making you question your end goals. That's what I'd hope for. I don't think he posted that in response to me. This is from Syzyx. I think he was just alt-right flexing. I think I posted a George Carlin quote. I assume he's either too young or too self-involved to get. Specifically in response to this, I have no idea who George Carlin is, Syzyx. I am just so young and inexperienced. I just got out of college. Oh, who's George Carlin? What the hell? What is this? I know who George Carlin. I know what your quote is. I didn't even necessarily disagree with your post, but I called you out and you still just bitched over. So I'm just gonna. Oh man, this guy. I wish Annex was still around to send you back to the Shadow Realm. He said that I obstruct part of the quote should be my motto because it's all I'm good at. Yeah. Maybe he'll grow up one day. Yeah, maybe I'll grow up one day. Maybe you're such a mature adult, says X. You're the one with the right answers. You're the one who should... You're such a fucking creep, man. If he keeps up the toxic masculinity... now masculinity, not being a man is now toxic, right? You can't like strength. You can't like honor. You can't like these things. They're not good. They're toxic. This is what these people believe. So if this is what you believe, you are less than a man. You are just... I'm not going to use the C word on you, but... Maybe he won't. Oh, well. I mean... Dude, you're such a cretin. You guys got to see his creepy ass profile pics. It's just like this guy is... We're gonna see him, we're gonna see his mugshots, and the subtitle is gonna be, man found with 20 underage dead baby heads in his bathroom. Like this is the guy. This is what this guy looks like. He looks like a total creep, and he's just mentally ill. This guy's probably more mentally ill than maybe even Mozart is. Marv says, "Can someone explain this alt-right stuff? I honestly don't get it." Yeah, so this is, again, is it a requirement of alt-right disciples to post alt-rightism on audio forums? Talk about how black people need to be segregated so they can be empowered. Where did I say this? Where did I say this, Marv? Go ahead and find it. Go ahead and find where I said black people should be segregated so they can be empowered. Go ahead and find that, you piece of shit. God. And greet each other with Nazi salutes. Yes, that is what I do. Every time I walk into the Can Jam, I just sig heil. It's just, that's what I do. I'm freaking alt-right Nazi. Oh man, this is just insufferable. This is insufferable. Reading this stuff is insufferable. I mean, I can't believe I'm being just called a Nazi. You're a Nazi, and of course there's no record. People might think I'm actually a Nazi. That's why I'm making this video. So I'm gonna read Muppet Face's long thing because this needs to be responded to quickly. Where did I put it? Yeah, just a long ass video, but it needs to be done. Okay. So this is what she says. This is what her wisdom, this is what she is saying about me and misrepresenting me, obviously. Nerdling said it best, SBAF is not 4chan, nor was Changstar. Okay. No, obviously it wasn't. OG Neg, somewhere along the line, began to conflate the old Changstar spirit with a certain alt-right machismo. He said that he thought the good old days of being a self-aware idiots and assholes on head threads posting photos of elephants shitting product gurus somehow tamed out to being offensive for the sake of being offensive. Also, the groups of people Changstar gnawed on were the fans of certain headphones, not certain human demographics. Interesting. Not people of a certain race, sexual orientation, what have you. So I'd like you to go, Muppet Face, please go and find where I denigrate people of a certain race, sexual orientation, what have you. I mean, go find where I honestly do this like a Nazi would. Go ahead. I make jokes, sometimes I make jokes. These are jokes that are using the word fag or cuck is a joke. I'm not calling a gay person. I have respect for gay people or man, I'm not sure. I don't know how much respect I have for actual cucks, but I'm not being offensive to gay people when if I use the word fag. This is just a total delusion. This is, again, accusing me of being having alt-right machismo. What does that mean? Again, it's just another obvious misrepresentation. What about my statements make you think that I am some sort of neo-Nazi? What is this? I'll continue. All this was couched under the old get a thicker skin, don't be PC police, they make out crime, internet 101 stuff. However, people seem to misconstrue that stuff was A-okay on Changstar, where in fact it wasn't. It wasn't okay on Changstar. If you called someone a fag, go ahead and find where I called someone a fag. I directly called someone a fag. I've never done it. Go ahead and find him up in face. Or joked about blacks being poor. I mean, if you joke about blacks being poor, I mean, I could show you statistics about blacks, the fact that blacks are poor. I mean, this is just a fact. I mean, what am I going to... I'm not allowed to joke about facts. I mean, we're not even allowed to joke about blacks being poor. I don't call I don't denigrate any black individuals for being poor because they might not be poor. But if you're going to make a joke about blacks being poor, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. Again, you'd be called out for it. You'd be called out for it. I don't remember that at all, Muppet Face. Maybe you did. Let's get this. Anaxilis was the resident raving guy on the soapbox back then, but in truth, the majority of the staff was not as now alt-right keyboard warrior. So I'm an alt-right keyboard warrior. This is now another slander. That's right. We've been crybaby SJWs all this time. No, that is not true. You have been maybe, and you haven't maybe spoken about it, but that is a misrepresentation to call Marv and Ultrabike and everyone else crybaby SJWs. That's just you probably. Or people who just want to talk about audio, what having a jab at the NAACP or transsexuals pop out of the blue. Again, in those threads that I did probably bring up those two issues. The politics were brought in. If politics are brought up, I'm gonna go with it because I'm gonna assume it's okay. If Marv wants to shut it down, then he's gonna shut it down. Otherwise, I'll say it again. I was in favor of getting politics out of SBAF. But the thing is, it's just not a sustainable policy because you people make everything political. If Star Wars movies are now political, this is where you become. It's a no-win situation. It leads nowhere. It's the road to nowhere. I'll continue. For some reason, I got singled out for this as my return was seen as a starting point of becoming a place of cucks and weaknesses. Did I say that? I think I probably said this in my satire post. I'm not sure if I ever accused you of that. If I did, it was definitely in satire. In OJ's own words. Please go find these words. If this was a joke, probably. OJ really wanted to ruffle feathers. That could be true to a certain extent. I wanted to sort of air out our cancer. But he was on some kind of trip, and the worst of it when he went to the then official SBAF Discord, racism, Holocaust jokes, mocking the mentally ill. They just throw this out there. I'm just a racist, a Holocaust denier. I mock the mentally ill. I'm just worse than Donald Trump. All the usual meme stuff. You see someone who have to take a stand for one's right to be a major asshole. Oh man, this is such a terrible misrepresentation of my position. This is such bullshit, Muppet Face. This is an outright you don't know me. I don't hate black people, just so you know. The fact that a Holocaust joke is not funny is I'm not going to submit to. We're not going to submit to your mind control. This is bullshit. If I make a Holocaust joke, it can be funny, right? We can make jokes about all sorts of things. It's the fact that you see jokes as indication of my neo-Nazi ideology, which doesn't exist. It's just your fault. I can't respond to how you read into my jokes. When Marv finally discovered what was going on there, he was horrified. He asked OJ to change the name so the channel no longer be a thirst for him. Yeah, I don't want any jokes. Chang chat, blah blah blah. Becoming a place of cucks and weakness. That's such an obvious joke. I might have said. I don't remember if I've said that. I can imagine myself saying SBAF becoming a place of cucks and weakness. That's a joke. The Discord channel of such becoming said bill was a big part of it. No one really browsed the Discord though. Our Discord didn't get much activity. It get some activity in the vinyl section, but in the rant section, sometimes I literally created the place so we could talk about politics. So some of the guys could talk about politics. No one it didn't really catch on. Me and Anatole have had some discussions there. Some people have been fighting on there about nothing. But again, this is not the reason for my ban. It seems disingenuous that it would be. Especially since I changed the name since you're so afraid of being associated with it. Man, this is such an outright. The worst part is I don't really know Muppet Face all that well. I haven't really talked to her. I haven't PM'd her. I don't feel she knows me at all, and so it's kind of just insulting to be called a neo-Nazi by this random person on the basis of a joke I might have made. Another part where the constant complaints we got as mods. Yeah, you're gonna get complaints. People are gonna complain. You can't bow to this. It's a no-win situation. You can't. Soon you'll get complaints about people insulting a piece of gear when now you're going to have people stop criticizing the gear? What is the complaints? The fact that you get complaints is not grounds to make a moderator decision. If I'm breaking these rules that we have, and you can seem to say I didn't break any rules, then ban me. But if I'm getting complaints about quoting the U.S. World War II generals, then I don't know what you think that gives you grounds to do, justification to do. Still was continuing the mission, push buttons after motion temp ban. Yes, I was pushing buttons. I just wanted to accelerate the process. I wanted to see how low you had sunk. I didn't bring up any politics. I wasn't going to. I wasn't going to escalate it there. I was pushing buttons, but just seeing how low you would become. You'd become quite low. This is not a fly-by-night decision. Staff gave him many chances, and we all discussed it. This is another thing. The staff does not communicate with people at all. They literally just, when I was banned for 2 weeks, or temp ban, whatever, they just banned me. I wasn't told, hey, don't do this. Because I didn't do anything. That's the thing. I told this guy to fuck off. I wasn't mean to anyone the second time around. So, I mean, I guess quoting... I guess, I don't know what about my post means I was being mean to Syzyx. Maybe he took offense from me, but somehow, that's why the position is not sustainable. Being a dick, that rule, being a dick, is not a sustainable position, right? Because if you just call someone their name, they're being a dick to me, and what are you going to do? You're going to get complaints, and now you have to ban the guy, I guess. So it's definitely awkward. A lot of staff knew Logi in person. You don't know me, Muffet. Everything you say here is baseless. It is just a total misrepresentation of who I am. The fact that you would say this stuff is just disappointing. I mean, if you maybe reached out to me and maybe we could talk about gender roles and Star Wars. Maybe we could find a common ground there. We don't hear any of this from Muppet Face. We don't hear. Muppet Face does not like open discussion. She likes to stay behind, the guise of the walls of power and manipulate. What this is. This is what this is. She can't even make this a public statement. She can't say this to my face. I'm just very disappointed that this person, at least a guy like Gilberto, I guess. I mean, I don't agree that he just bans me from getting complaints, but at least the guy knows me. He knows I'm not a neo-Nazi. He won't call me a neo-Nazi like you will for no reason. I never even called him. I don't remember calling you specifically a social justice warrior. I don't know you well enough. Again, we don't know each other. So why do you feel the need to make these bullshit claims about me? Total lies. That's just a total lies. It's so disappointing. Going back to that thread, yeah, Marv says he was horrified by the nature of conversations. Maybe it's just idle chat and bravado. Maybe you shouldn't read into it, Marv. Dumbass. God. Evidently, there are terms there. So now we can't even talk about cultural Marxism. If you talk about cultural Marxism, you are a Nazi. This is now where we've become. This is it. You can't bring up these words or else you're a Nazi. That's it. I'm gonna keep going. Oh yeah, the thread's just such a cesspool. I'm glad some of my martyrs seem to have called you out, and that's just really triggering for Marv and the rest of his moderator team. God, frickin' the new council of elders here to shut down those martyrs. Yeah, I mean, I've said I'm getting tired here. I'm losing my testosterone, but I gotta read this one more thing. It was on the public post. Just respond to that real quick. 2017 changes for SBAF by Marv. Things change. Change is hard. Get used to it. Things keep changing. Get used to that. Non-statement literally means nothing. There is no meaning in that first line. That is the most. It is just a void of any real information in that line. It's just change. Things change. Change is hard. Get used to it. Things keep changing. What does that mean? Does that mean things change? Therefore I will start to censor people. Is that what's going to change, Marv? What's going to change? Tell us. This isn't Chankstar. The Halicon days of Chankstar are over. Get used to it. Again, you've made contradictory claims with regard to what is SBAF. SBAF is Chankstar without Annex. SBAF is Chankstar without politics. I mean, what is it now? I'm not sure. I guess it's changing. That's changing. SBAF's changing. So now what is it? Tell us. SBAF is 5 times bigger than Chankstar. There will be more noise. The membership won't be as insular. We're not a small community. Get used to it. Okay, yeah, and that was what I expected for going into SBAF. Being more respectful to tonal signatures preference that differ from my own. I'm being more polite and believing in stuff. I don't know, a piece of shit, but it sounds gear has gotten better. Get used to it. I mean, okay. I don't know why that's relevant. I guess the fact that you are saying you're going to be more tolerant is the change. That SBAF is you're going to be more tolerant to different tonal signatures. This is the major change, I guess. Okay, here's where we get good. Just as I will not stand for political correctness run amok, feign microaggressions in the case. So making a joke, a black joke, a Holocaust joke, making any sort of joke, using the word cuck is what they call microaggression. But you're not going to stand for that. So which is it, Marv? This is a feigned microaggression. When I post a General Patton quote and Syzyx gets triggered, this is a microaggression. This is him. This is what these people believe is just offensive neo-Nazi rhetoric on their part. So this is a lie. You will stand for political correctness. You just have by banning me. If you weren't standing for political correctness, you would just say, hey, no politics. I didn't post anything political, like you said. In cases where someone makes a joke about buying a MacBook to impress their LGBT friends. So that's an okay joke. So we can make fun of LGBT people? I'm not sure if Muppet Face would agree with that. I'm not sure. They seem to have some contradictions in the moderator team of what... But I think once Muppet Face gets her claws into Marv more, then she'll make Marv see the light and understand that LGBT MacBook joke is not cool. That is not cool. I will also not stand for alt-right vocabulary. Culk and cultural Marxism. So again, cultural Marxism is now alt-right vocabulary. That's what he's saying. I mean, cuck is pretty much an alt-right vocabulary, wasn't it? I mean, cuck, of course, the term existed before the alt-right. But cultural Marxism, we can't talk about that. Can't talk about women can't talk about diversity quotas in movies and how shitty they become. Nope. Okay, or methods to treat weak people, beating them up and telling them they must be strong. So yes, that's what I do. I'm a big fan of beating up people. I just beat people. I'm sure I shouldn't be calling. You don't mean physically beating, of course. I'm not going to misrepresent you like that, but yeah, you can't say anything mean to people who are just weaklings and mentally ill and who want to abuse their privilege, their mentally ill privilege. Tell them must be strong. I mean, I'm telling anyone, I'm putting out the lame little quote. It's like people should prefer to be strong rather than weak. That is the literal extent to my statement. I'm not forcing them to be strong. I'm telling them to be strong. They could be weak and continue to be weak. Of course, they'll be weak and take your tax dollars via force. These things have already been discussed with admins and mods. Should have put that statement out January 1st, but real life to presidents, blah, blah, blah. Try to be nice. So try to be nice means try not to step over the line. Try to be politically correct. Don't make any microaggressions. This is now the new era of SBAF. This is what they want. So yeah, I overall, like I said, disappointed to see all this lameness, all this total perversion of a site that I did like. And I don't think SBAF needs me to be there and to be a good site. I think it'll be fine. I think SBAF will continue to put out good content. Marv always puts out good content. No one else seems to do a lot. Marv seems to do a lot of work putting out good content, and then everyone else seems to bitch and complain. Marv has to keep that machine going. So I don't blame him for any of this. I don't blame Marv or Ultrabike or any of these moderators for actually taking the action, because they've been de facto coerced into making these changes, as Marv says. Things change. Get used to it. Yeah. God, what a bunch of bullshit. Overall, I think SBAF will continue to be all right. And again, we've had alternate I'll call them forums. Oh, a quick addendum. I was accused, of course, out of nowhere. I don't blame Marv for thinking. I told Marv I want to make a new site, either my own site. I'm going to make either a blog or another forum for us deplorables, those who don't conform to Muppet Face's ideology. So he probably thought that I created super best audio comrades, but I didn't. I didn't make that site. I have nothing to do with it. I didn't even post on that site. There's an account on that site that has me posted. There has my profile, something in my classic avatar, the radioactive symbol, making some random posts. Some of them were copy paste from, but that's not me. I didn't make that site. I haven't posted on that site. That's a false flag. That is not me. I do want to make a site eventually for the rest of us deplorables. Marv's talked about, so Marv probably thought when I told him I want to make another site, he probably thought I made that site that night. But no, I didn't make that, so not my fault. Otherwise, we're gonna be okay. It's not a big deal. I think SBAF will continue to chug along, because we got to understand that Changstar was essentially driven by Marv. I mean, he produced a lot of content. He bought a lot of gear. He drove a lot of discussions and all that. And that's what SBAF kind of become. But the thing about SBAF is that a lot of guys have left. A lot of guys have moved on. And there's just been so during that change period, there was even less support around Marv. So long as Marv keeps up the good work and keeps posting still a lot of good stuff, then SBAF will live on, and that's it. SBAF is Marv's forum. It is his place to talk about whatever he wants. And that's the thing. Is like people understand, like, the rules don't control the forum. The guy with the admin power, it's like people don't understand, like, rules don't control your life. Government controls your life. And government doesn't follow the rules necessarily. Men with guns, right? So Marv is the actuator of admin power. Therefore, he rules you. He is the de facto leader. So the best you can hope for is that your leaders in any sort of government or any sort of system is that your leaders are benevolent. You need to hope that Marv keeps being. He's generally just a good moderator. I think he's too band heavy, too band happy in general. Just he's done this before with other disagreeers and all that, but not going to get into all that. I think otherwise, Marv can offload all these cretins, all these deplorables, me, Anax, anyone else he deems to be no longer in the fold. But the forum will keep going, and I think it'll still be healthy so long as he's post well. The actual good discussion of audio has transitioned to other forums. It has moved away. There is Marv will see the fault in what he's doing eventually. He'll see things start to break down as a new type of minion, of his minions, you could say, replace who was there before, who was there in the Chang days, and who he's losing, I think. Otherwise, I think he's going to regret this. I think there's no excuse for me. My band does have some common threads with Anax's band, but there was different politics there. There was different. When I say politics, I don't mean talk about politics, but intra-politics between the founding members. So there was a different dynamic there, and none of those excuses can be used on me. I do not owe anyone any money. I have not insulted anyone directly. I don't call out. I don't know Muppet Face. I'm not gonna insult her and call her cunt or whatever. I'm just gonna say, hey, you're lying. You're slandering me. But that's all I can do, because I don't know these people. Point being, none of that can be used against me. This is purely for reasons of political correctness, going against the grain, going against what they believe is correct. And I've outlined my whole point, so there's not much more I can say. Otherwise, my goals in audio, my goals in life, not going to change the fact that I have to go. I'll probably still visit SBAF. I'll go in via VPN, check every now and then to see, if Marv's posting a new review of something. I care about his opinions. He's got good ears, He still produces good content, like I've said. So, otherwise, I don't got much more to say. Maybe I'll think of something else, and I'll add an addendum to this video. But otherwise, that's about all I got. Thanks for watching the long-ass video, but I hope that clears at least even if you disagreed with everything I've said in this video, you at least have an alternate perspective of who I am, what I'm about, and why the slander that's been told about me, it should be taken at face value and not damage my good name as it exists. But otherwise, I do want to. This is what will be going on my YouTube. I hope to do more stuff on my YouTube. Maybe make my own blog. A forum's always in. I'm not sure how much we actually need a forum. But it'll all work out. So thanks for watching. It's been a slug, but I needed to be done. Needed to have a platform to give my side. So thanks.